Welcome to Channel WA and Migrate, your insight to the Australian visa system. G'day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on a little bit on the side, so once we have all the updates and news just like today, you'll be the first one of getting all the insight. Now today is the 2nd of July. Now I've been 1st of July, which was yesterday. I've been waiting for a whole day for a new news media coming out from any department and any state of immigration departments. What had happened was there was a technical update, and which is Friday, bear in mind. The immigration system was required to be technically upgraded with all the updates until about 3 p.m. Australian time, so left only 2 hours. I've been in close contact with numbers of officials who works in the departmental offices, advising that they have not officially receiving the quota and the opening of the new financial year of 2022 and 23. However, today I do have a little bit of information and news to share with you, which is going to be the Western Australia. It's first time WA Western Australia has been the first state advising the new policy apart from all the other states. Very interestingly, but what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to take you going through every single state and territory and have a look at what's happening out there, and obviously all of them will provide a new update in the coming week or days, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. Anyway, let's go in there now. Let's start with Queensland. Now obviously I've tried to refresh all their website because I do have clients looking to actually get nominated in every different state and territory, so I need to well, I didn't provide much of a sleep yesterday, but need to just keep monitoring all of these immigration and the state's website. So Queensland, unfortunately, as you can see, they are still notifying 2021-22. That means it's still outdated. That's not an updated information there, so we're still waiting. I believe that the next couple of days coming up we will have more information, and seems to be they are bringing back the skill occupation list for Queensland. However, how that's gonna look like, we don't know. They are still waiting for their final go-ahead from the federal government, which is gonna be the immigration. So very exciting coming weeks. Whether or not the annual intake will actually be increased, we haven't heard anything at all as well. Interestingly, yesterday is somehow very quiet. But also here, just to remind everybody that the replacement 485 visa is available now, and also there are numbers of changes for those people who spend their time continue to hold the work visa. Even if it's going to be the short-term lists, you are eligible to apply for permanent residency now. So just make sure give you a little bit of changes there. Now let's move on. Let's go to, what's this one? This is ACT. Not too sure why they put the font so tiny, whether I can actually magnify that. Yeah, I can, but still very tiny. So ACT, again, still you can see it's still back in 2021-22 financial year, so no changes and update for ACT yet, and so is New South Wales. So New South Wales, look, you cannot actually see any changes here, but because I've been refreshing and reviewing the website so many times in my life as a career in as a migration specialist, I can tell you they actually updated. The update is nothing but removing everything. So that's what they have done. So you only got those important information, make sure you find the right people, don't provide false and misleading information. other than that, there's nothing else. So you can see nomination criteria process, information about the apply New South Wales nomination skill work regional visa in 2022 and 23 will be made available shortly. So that means it's still not available. So they basically remove everything. I think that what next time they should do is they put this with a big bold letter right at the top. I think that makes more sense. Otherwise, I was trying to read through all this and going down, and then and I found I was just wasting time there because they haven't updated yet. Okay, anyway, now moving into Victoria. No, as you can see, the most updated news is still sticking at 24th of June, which obviously is not even the into the new financial year, so nothing changes there. So was South Australia, as you can see. The most updated news here is back in 6th of June, so there's not much of and it was closure because they have used up their quota, so we are still pending on the new financial year for South Australia. And Tasmania, well, they're good. I think Tasmania was the only state government they actually email us and advise the news about we're currently still waiting advice from Australian government on Tasmania's nomination allocation. So that's the same thing. So they basically all the state and territory is still waiting to be provided with the quota that they have, so they can provide their new migration program and nomination criteria. Northern Territory, interestingly, they have updated their website. If you wanted to compare their previous website, what I have found is not really the detail. They have updated it. It's the color. Oh, okay. They actually use the blue at the back. Whether or not that indicate anything, I'm not too sure, but the criteria seems to be the same. There's not much of differences between 2 years ago and now, so there's not much of difference at all here. Basically all occupation is included, and the only updated is the color of the website. Great, it looks much better compared to the previous. Now the most important one now is what we're gonna go through for this video is Western Australia. Now, despite that, all state and territory haven't received their quota yet. So was Western Australia, but Western Australia decided to put their new policy out, which is good. I think that's good. I mean, people deserve to know what your new criteria is gonna be. So I think that's it's a good to go. So let's why don't we go to Western Australia's immigration website and have a look. Now you may also like to Google this, and you may find well, this is not updated because they updated this probably 6 months ago. Anyway, let's look at the latest news right up top of me, right up there. So what does it say? It says, commencing in 2022-23 program year, people residing overseas are now eligible to be considered for Western Australian nomination. So that's great. They are opening up for offshore applicants. The 22-23 program year will also provide candidate opportunity to access to an expanded, more extensive graduate occupation list under the graduate stream. That's great. But so what is the graduate stream here? Now let me, if you haven't followed my channel long enough, I did have the Western Australia's state nomination video done before. So the graduate list or graduate stream basically meant you study in Western Australia's university or institution and graduated in Western Australia. So if you're an international student and you study in Sydney, can you access the Western Australian graduate stream? No. Okay, so that's the only difference. Obviously, Western Australia wanted to put themselves with more advantage to actually pull and attract more international students to Western Australia. So let's go back to the website. So that I've clicked that into and open that up into another web page and let's have a read a bit detail. Okay, so again, so to 22-23 program changes. New applicant being accepted from overseas and more available for graduate stream. So the other stream, I would assume they are gonna be the same. So we're gonna go into the actual occupation list and check out in this video for you. So make sure you stay to the very end. Commencing 22-23, offshore is available, although they are not officially open, and the updates of nomination criteria is now available. So let's have a look at those criteria. Will provide candidate more opportunity for the graduate occupation for the graduate stream, with over 300 occupation becoming available. So what does that mean? Now 300 basically will mean every single occupation. So they're opening up for all people who all type of occupation, and if you whether or not you get any coming from everywhere, what you need to do is you need to study in Western Australia, then you'll be able to access to this graduate stream. The expanded graduate stream will become available 22-23 is outlined, and we're gonna go. I've already clicked that link. An easy to follow table occupation under the Western Australia occupation list, Schedule 1 and Schedule 2, and the graduate list. Invitation to apply Western State under the new graduate stream will not commence until 2022-23 year program. Please continue to monitor the portal. So obviously they haven't received the quota, so it's the other one, but they have put out this information, which is going to be very, very helpful. So let's go in there and have a look at the new new list, the new occupation list. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a look if I have missed anything. Okay, so this is the new occupation list for Western Australia. Bear in mind the word is very tiny, but you may want to Google this by yourself. So basically, if we can look at this at this point of time, is so Washmo and Schedule 1 and Washmo Schedule 2 is for people who did not study in Western Australia. So if we follow the graduate on the right hand side with the blue ticks, especially when they have new, okay, that is the new occupation that they have enlisted for Western Australia occupation list. So acupuncturist, so they're basically 300 occupation. I will tell you that's everything. So they so this is going from alphabetical order. So architect, everything, arborist, architect draftsperson, so biochemist, botanist, bricklayer, you name it. So cable people, and the caravan park camping ground manager. So you see that's basically everyone. Every occupation is in the grad. So if you come to Western Australia and study in Western Australia, every single occupation you can access to this graduate stream. Okay, and moving downward, cut and grower, cook. So you'll see all these new. When I scroll down, dental technician, dental therapist, coming down with all these new ones. Electronic engineers, environmental research scientists, plasters, and go on and all the way down to from A to Z. So solicitor, solar plasters. So you see those ones. Speech pathologist, taxation accountant, was already in there. The teacher for English in there as well. I wonder, they do have other traditional Chinese medicine. Wow, that's even in there. Transport engineer, university lecturer. So the last one is a zoologist. So every single occupation is within the new graduate stream of Western Australia's nomination. But at this point in time, the state and territory have not received the actual quota yet, and that is the reason why all the other state and territory have not really released their criteria or nomination information yet. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side. So once we have all that updates and news, you will be the first one putting all that in a video format, so you can have a listen and watch over YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next video. Goodbye.